Hello, Merton. Some follow-up analysis for you here. Let's just look at your video in approximately full speed here so we can see what it looks like more or less before we go back and do the analysis. So if we go back, we're going to echo some of the things obviously we talked about on the side of the pool yesterday. But if we look here, the things I'm seeing a lot of right away is that hand is going in, that arm is dropping from the shoulder. The whole arm is dropping, right? I'm seeing that hand go down. There's no propulsion being generated there, and there's no real paddle set happening when that hand goes in and down. Now you might be getting a little bit of grab on the water and propulsion there, right through this part in here, right? And then the hand kind of just whips out of the water, which is okay, but that's not really giving any propulsion either. So there's only a small part of that stroke where you're getting any purchase on the water. This part, really, right, you're just pushing down with your hand, more or less, and so that pushes your front up and tends to push your feet down. Okay. Now, let's look at this arm. That's a little better. So we were talking about there's definitely the seeds there of what we're after happening. Okay, I like the fact that the elbow here is in line with the shoulder line. That is good. This looks like a pretty good setup here to generate some power on the water. Okay, so let's watch what happens. We have what we're seeing is you kind of get this set, but then we're really not getting the sweep of the upper arm back to your side. You're coming out of the water really wide there. Okay, so once you're in this position, what you more or less should be trying to do is taking that upper arm here and just closing it to your side, more or less, activating those lat muscles so that you can then take this paddle that you've got and pull it straight back through the water. So certainly doing those kickboard drills are going to help you where you can feel that pull on the water and work on getting the right motion, because that should be coming straight back, and here you're kind of extending the arm early, you're kind of losing that paddle, it's coming out wide, and that's not going to work. Now the other thing I notice is that, let me look at this reach here. Okay, when you breathe you get some shoulder tilt, you look awfully darn flat there to me, and you're really not getting that reach. As soon as that comes in, let's look at that arm. It's still bent. See, it's bent. You never get a reach out from the shoulder in a full extension. So that's something else you really can work on those drills. Getting that full reach, put that hand in and reach for that top shelf. Don't immediately try to bend that elbow and go down. First, we need to get that reach and that shoulder tilt that gives us that extra bit of reach that we were talking about. Then set that paddle into this position, bring it back. Okay, this side, same thing, comes in, starts dropping right away so that we don't ever get the reach that should be happening here and causing your shoulders, which we see your shoulders are somewhere, tilted about like that. We should see that hand, instead of dropping down here, it should shoot out in front of your shoulder, even wider than your shoulder, and we should see your shoulders tilt something like this to get that full extension. Then the paddle gets set and the propulsion starts. So what we're seeing, this arm, again, we're missing that extension. Now we're just pushing down on the water, not pushing back on the water. The paddle never really gets set until there's sort of a paddle thing going on here and a little bit of propulsion through there. But, the very common problem, missing a lot of the area that you could be getting grab on the water. If we look at this hand closer, yep, you're trying to do it, but once again, you can see that you're not effectively applying pressure back, you're applying pressure down on the water. Let's see, one other thing I just noticed here. You're looking a little bit forward to me, it looks like to me. I'm really seeing more of your face than I want to see, which doesn't help with your body position. So looking more down toward the bottom of the pool will help with that. And then I was going to check your breathing here. Okay, I see bubbles coming out. That's good. Bubbles. There were some bubbles coming out, but we are seeing a pretty big burst of air coming out right before you breathe. So the one good thing I will say about you compared to a lot of the other swimmers is that you do take a fairly rapid breath here. And you could probably, it'd probably be even easier for you if you didn't have to blow that air out, which you're probably still blowing out when you first come out of the water, if you were, bubbling that out the whole time more and not getting that big burst of air. But at least what I can say about you is that you do have a relatively quick breath and your head's back in the water, which is good. But I just don't want to see you also looking up that much here as you are. So the drills are really going to help you to groove in, the reach and the setting the paddle and pulling it straight back thing. And, that's going to be great for you, because if I'm going to look again at your stroke here, and if we look at this arm, there's no propulsion happening until, maybe right in there you're getting some propulsion, right? It's pretty much behind your shoulder already. You're kind of getting some through here. Now there's really no propulsion. Now that's going down. Now you're getting a little propulsion in there. So, clearly you could be getting propulsion for a lot more of your stroke than you are. And doing these drills, getting that reach, getting the shoulder turn, getting the paddle set, getting it straight back is all going to be helpful for you, and as well as working on that breathing so you don't have to exhale right at the end. So I hope all that's helpful, and please feel free to email with any additional questions.